a big reason why Harry Kane might move to Germany is obviously, he hasn't won anything. It's an absolute travesty. A player of that quality has never won a trophy and stuff. Now, one question that I actually put to Jeremy earlier is, I'm a bit worried that if Kane does move over to Bayern Munich, and as you say, I mean, it's their 12th league win in a row. People are just going to say, well, that was a given. You're always going to win that trophy. You're always going to win, I don't know, the German Cup as well. So does that mean that if he doesn't win the Champions League as a Bayern Munich player, has that been a wasted move? Or do you think it is worth it purely to just get some trophies on his Wikipedia page?
I don't know how I feel about this one, because I don't want to sound really sneery, but I find the Bundesliga fairly uninspiring.
Yeah, the thing is, whether you want to be sneery or not, Rory, there will be sneery fans. There will be fans saying, well, what's the point, Harry Kane? You might as well have just stayed at Spurs, because those trophies aren't worth as much as winning something in England with either Spurs or another club. Yeah,
and that's true. Like, that is true. Like, if you... The value of a Bundesliga trophy to him, it's got to mean less than a Premier League title with Manchester United.
Or a Premier League goal-scoring record.
But I think he can still achieve that.
You're saying that he could go to Bayern Munich, then come back?
Yeah, I'm saying that almost with or without this move. Yeah. With or without this move, I think Harry Kane secures that. It's 47 goals. Yeah. That man is so capable of scoring 47 goals starting in 3 years' time.
Yeah.
Of course he is. So I don't see that. I don't see there being any real jeopardy around that. What I think he should do is go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid need a new Benzema. They need somebody to fill the void, the huge hole, gaping hole left in their squad by Karim Benzema.
Maybe they've signed Bellingham to try and get him across as well. Maybe it's all just a big ploy. To be fair, though, Levy is speaking to Bayern Munich. It's not the first time that they've spoken, but he's been with the chief executive, Jan Christian Driesen, on Thursday. If we look at this as a business perspective, we kind of park what it means for Kane, what it means for him personally. Is this something that Tottenham should be doing? Bearing in mind he's got 1 year left on his contract, he could potentially leave on a free at the end of that. Do they need to cash in on their asset this summer?
I think this is the best opportunity for Tottenham. Tottenham don't want to sell to a rival because, assuming he doesn't go to Manchester City, and there's no reason why he would now, whoever he goes to will be directly competing with Tottenham. Like, Manchester City aren't competing with Tottenham. They're not in the same league. They've got very different priorities. Their goals are very different. And Manchester City aren't focused on Tottenham. And the success of Manchester City won't affect Tottenham. But almost any other club that he goes to could. If he goes to Manchester United, there's a huge chance that Manchester United take a Champions League spot off Tottenham. So I think it certainly suits Levy from a business perspective, but also from a marketing PR perspective, to ship him off abroad. So that definitely benefits them. Then it becomes a question, I think this is only opinion now.
Yeah.
Are you better off to sell him now for 70 million or get another year's service out of him and potentially hope to convince him to stay? So you get another year's service, so you get another 30 goals.
Yeah.
And then you get the sort of added jeopardy, the added opportunity to convince him to stay. Postecoglou hits the ground running. He links up well with Postecoglou. They're able to maybe offer him a contract. The next contract could have a coaching role in it, as I've seen being suggested.
Wow.
You keep him at the club for as long as possible, and keeping him for another year is part of keeping him for as long as possible, because you hope that the fortunes change. Under Ange Postecoglou, I don't think this happens, but they finish third in the league and win the 2 domestic trophies. Suddenly Harry Kane wants a new deal.
Yeah. I just don't see that happening.
No, of course it won't happen. It's impossible for that to happen. It's Tottenham. Yeah. But if you're a Tottenham fan, you have to be believing that. Yeah. If you're Daniel Levy, surely what you don't say is, but what if this guy's too good for us? Which is effectively what you're saying.
What if, though, that does happen? They come third and they win those 2 trophies, and then Harry Kane still says, "All right, see you later. Cheers, thanks for contracts."
But then then keeping him was still worth it, wasn't it? Because then you've got the trophies and the top 4 finish.
The price that Levy's holding out for, according to Alex Crook, is about 130 million.
Yeah, that's just nonsense.
For a player who's on his last year's contract. Okay, that's nonsense. I agree with that. What price do you think is acceptable?
70 million.
So you bang on Bayern Munich's valuation.
I think anywhere between, a player with 1 year left on his deal, I think anywhere between, I think the most you can ever pay for somebody with 1 year left on their deal is about 80. And if Kane were 24, I'd be saying 80.
Yeah.
But he's not 24.
Because of his age.
Yeah.
we did mention Kyle Walker. Do you think that's a good move for him as well? You know, he's won everything at Manchester City. Time to move on?
No, I would say it isn't time to move on because this is the first time that Kyle Walker's had any kind of competition for his spot at Man City. So I think that he could have possibly thought, hang around for this. Equally, he's a little bit older now, and the year that he would have had at City would have been fantastic because he wouldn't have had the rigours of playing every single week. Mm-hmm. He would have been utilised when they draw Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League and they've got to worry about Mbappe, or when they draw Real Madrid in the Champions League and they've got to worry about Vinicius Jr., or when they play Chelsea in the league if Raheem Sterling has found some form. It's that, isn't it? He isn't playing every week. He doesn't have the pressures of playing every week. No. So I am slightly surprised. But equally, for Kyle Walker, you've done everything there is to do in this country. You've represented your country to to one of the highest levels that you possibly could. He has been one of the stars, hasn't he? One of the jewels in the crown.
Absolutely.
At tournaments. He's done everything that there is to do. I love Kyle Walker. I think I really do. I think he's a true great of the game. What better way to solidify that than go and maybe win a Bundesliga as well?
Yeah.
Like just to amplify who you are already. Yeah. Not only did you do it at a Tottenham team, but you really did it at Man City, and then you've done it on the continent and internationally. Like your legacy is so secure there.
And do you know what? He could secure his future as a football agent if he also convinces Harry Kane to join BeIN as well.
So, do you know what? I couldn't see a world where Harry Kane would go to BeIN. I really didn't think it was possible. But with Walker being there,
how much do you think that changes the game?
I think it's significant. I think it matters. I don't think that we just say that it doesn't matter at all. Like, if they were to have signed someone else from the Premier League where there's no link to Kane, you just totally dismiss it. It's not even in this conversation. Like, Walker and Kane are mates, good mates.